I'm gonna take a turn right here. And I'm gonna take an impact in turn 1 and 2. And this thing should get pretty wild. There you go, man. It's like the real thing, dude. Hey everybody, it is Billy at BTUFF, man. You know, in 2005, I bought a PlaySeat Evolution simulating platform, right? There was no other ones out there. That's all that was there. I bought it for $240. Now, 16 years later, I think I've created the most elaborate, upgraded PlaySeat Evolution in existence. All right, man, let's take a look at it. Here's a quick overview. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna show you all the bells and whistles. I think you're gonna like what's behind that TV set. It's pretty elaborate. The whole thing is upgraded. I fabricated most of it myself. And yeah, I just wanna show you. So in 2005, there wasn't very many options for racing simulator seats, right? So basically the PlaySeat Evolution was all there was. There may have been a couple others, but the PlaySeat Evolution by far is the most sold racing simulator platform in the world, right? If you look at the last 15 years, it's not even close. So I always thought it functionally worked. Some people don't like the center bar. I don't have a problem with it. And I'll show you some things that I've done to kind of adjust to that. But I have really liked this platform. It's held up over 15 years. And like we see here, man, I mean, it's pretty. I have some things I'm going to be doing to it, which I'll get into in a second too. But this right here is upgraded to the tilt, right? You're not going to get very many PlaySeat Evolutions upgraded more than this. All right, so let's get into it. First off, you will see that I have ditched the original PlaySeat seat and changed it out with an Ultra Shield containment seat that you see in real race cars. I wanted this thing to feel like my other cars that I race in real life. And plus with the motion, I thought that this was going to hold up and hold me in a little bit more. So it has worked out really good. It feels super comfortable and it looks really stylish in our house. You know, it's got this, I've got this kind of metal and black theme going on through this thing. And so it has to aesthetically look good in our home because as you see, this is our living room. And so I couldn't have something with wires flying all over the place, something that looked like garbage. It had to look really cool, right? So when it comes in, it's like an art piece. So when people walk in our house, they're like, whoa, what's this thing, right? Because it's just this whole piece of eye candy, right? When you walk in, a lot of bling going on. So I'll take a wrap around here just so you can kind of take a look at it right here. Now, a lot of people will dog on me when I do my videos because a lot of times I do interviews with people and I dumb them down a little bit so everybody can enjoy them. But I do fabrication stuff aside working on my race car. I know how to do some fabrication. I did build this. I think this is the most functional way to do this. This is a shifter mount that I did right here. I bent all this up, of course, welded it, and I mounted it right here, and it's like rock solid. But what I liked about it the most is that it moved with the seat, right? A lot of times you see these platforms and they have a motion simulator on there, but they have that this thing is stationary on the simulator. So, but I wanted it to move with the seat. So it moves with me when I'm racing. So that worked out pretty good. Originally I was going to put some speakers right here, but I opted away from that just because aesthetically I don't think it looked that good. And for the VR that I use, it didn't really matter. All right, so let's take a look underneath this thing, which is probably the most expensive thing that I put on it. The one thing that I really enjoy about the next level motion simulator is that it's compact, right? I mean, look at the footprint that this thing has. It doesn't take up a bunch of room. A lot of the racing simulators have big shocks that come off the back and you know you need a lot of space. This one, I was able to put it on this rolling platform, which I'll get into here in a second. I was able to put it on that and it didn't take up a bunch of room. It's tight, it's compact. And the one thing is it works really good. Like I've had this thing for like 2.5 years, I think, and it's been flawless. I haven't had any problems with it, nothing. They have really good updates that you really don't have to think about. They just do it for you. So when they come out, it just automatically downloads it. And they're always working on it. And this really is a nice piece of machinery. I mean, like for something that moves around, like you can see the parts in there, right? They're all heavy duty. For something that moves around like this, not to break or not to have any problems, to me, is pretty good tech. I mean, technology. I mean, really it is. It's good workmanship. Now, the one thing about this that you will see too is that I made this platform right here. This did not come with the the motion simulator. I actually made this right here. You can kind of see The wire's all tucked in there, and these modified butt kickers here, I cut the mounts off as clean as I could. I mean, that's pretty clean, right? I cut those off so they're pretty much just like pucks on their own. This thing does have 4 transducers. There's 4 butt kickers on it, one for the right rear, right front, left front. I just wanted something that kind of simulated all 4 corners, and it works spectacular. I could probably got away with like 1 or 2 of these, but I had to push this thing over the top. So I did have that. I had to tilt it up a little bit in the front to kind of simulate the reclining in my real race cars, and it's perfect. But you do see that it raises this up like that much, right? Off what would probably be the original play seats. Not quite. I mean, the original play seat came to about right here. So about 3 inches up. So I had to modify this piece right here. Now this bolts to the original. See if you can see there. It's pretty clean, right? I made a piece of wood on the inside of here, and then I got aluminum flat, and I just kind of put it around it and bent it around there, and then kind of, put that nice grind on it. And then this, I got some aluminum, I think it's an 1/8 inch, and I had it bent up. Overall, it works really good. A lot of people will say that seat sucks, your simulator sucks because you have this bar in between your legs. All right, so let's talk about that. So with the racing that I do, most of it is the circle track, right? So you're not using a clutch a lot in what I do. I mean, if you race the iRacing series, you know that you can just bang shift it, right? Without having to use the clutch. When it does come to the road racing, I use the flip shifters. So I don't use the clutch too much. I use it, I'm trying to think, man. I don't even use it that much. I'm trying to think of what I would even use it in. On iRacing, I don't even use the clutch that much. And a lot of people that are really hardcore people will say, well, that's whack. But I don't. But I did, and I think I have a video of it. I did swap the clutch and the brake. So this is the clutch and this is the brake on this system. So, I'm not really using this much. There has been some occasions where I do use the clutch, but this is the brake, and I like it too because the spread between the gas pedal and the brake is pretty close to my real race cars. So it just feels better. Now, one thing I've added to the Fanatic inverted pedal system are these 90-degree, because my foot kept sliding off, like on both sides, right? So now I added these L brackets here, and I just bolted them in right with the Allen screw that comes with it, right? You just put it in there, mark it, drill it. And these are really good right here. These have really helped me from have more control on the pedals. So let me talk about this rolling platform a little bit here. You'll see it's a diamond plate. I had a tub made, or I don't know what they'd call it, but it's basically, they fold the corners down, had them welded up for me. And I mounted the platform on 6 rolling casters, and it is very, very sturdy, and it does not move. I was worried about it moving around when the motion simulator works, and it really doesn't, or at least nothing I can feel when I'm in there. It has been super sturdy, but like I said before, is that I had to make sure that I can move this around. I mean, Christmas is here, the Christmas tree goes here. So this thing is really heavy, so I'm not gonna transport a whole system across the place. Or if I have to move it, we have guests coming over. If I have to relocate this, it rolls around super easy. Anybody can do it. My daughters can do it. I can do it. Anybody can do it. And that is the rolling platform. Now, I think, in my opinion, there's direct drive systems, and then they have the belt systems on the steering. This is, of course, the belt. And it's still a really nice piece. Fanatic makes some of the best stuff, man. He doesn't do it justice. Sorry about that. But you can see in there, it's all anodized aluminum. It's really good. Like I said, I use this a ton, and it has worked as good as the day I bought it. So, my opinion, Fanatic makes the good stuff. Don't worry about this thing not being strong enough, because I can put this up so high that you can't even hold on to the wheel. So it's not like, oh, those don't have enough power. You get all the power you can imagine with this Fanatic wheel. So yeah, I did upgrade the wheel to an MPI. It just feels like a real race car. I mean, it's like, these are the ones they use in real race cars right here. So they did have an adapter that mounted up to this. What's really nice about it too is you see the lines. See how perfect that is with the Fanatic hub here. And of course the hub, if you don't know, this whole steering thing comes off. Like you push this and it detaches, just like a real race car. So that is that. I do have a Bose soundbar on it that I don't really use too much because usually I'm playing when people are here and that would blow them out of the water. I mean, even the TV set is almost too loud, but I did put it on there. I thought aesthetically it'd be cool just to have a sound system on it. And so it does look cool. I do run VR. Now people will say there's a big debate whether VR is the best or triple screens is the best. In my opinion, VR is the best, and I'll tell you why. Even though the visuals, like I know that there's a little bit of screen door that comes with it. It doesn't look quite as sharp as like a 4K TV, which this is. This is a 4K wrap. You can see it's a curved 4K 55. The one thing is though, is even when you're looking at a helmet of a real race car, it's usually not crystal clear. I mean, you have multiple tear-offs on, especially on the dirt side. It's just, there's fog in there. So it actually is probably more realistic with the VR because you have a little bit of dimmed, visuals when you have a racing helmet on usually. I mean, there's probably someone out there not gonna go, that's BS, but I'm just telling you from my experience on dirt, usually looking at your helmet has a little bit of visual change, right? So I do like the VR. Plus, the thing is, man, when you race, even if I had a triple screen here, right? Let's say I have a triple screen, okay? Well, the one thing that's cool about VR is that when the car tilts over, the whole 3D environment, your whole world rolls over, right? That's why some people get seasick with it. I mean, some people just can't do it because it's just like so over the top. When you're in a 2D platform, which even with the triple screen, you're in a 2D platform, when the whole system rolls over, the world doesn't roll over, right? Your whole car doesn't roll over. It's just what's on the screen. So you're not really in that 3D environment. A lot of people will have elaborate things like, RPM gauges. They have roll cages and all that stuff. Well, that is, with the VR, that's there. You don't have to put it all on your system. So it's already all built into what you see. So and I know that the VR eventually is going to catch up on the visuals. So I'm not too concerned about it. And I still think it looks really good. But I am a VR guy. I was thinking about going triple screen, but at the end of the day, I just love the VR. And for the price, man, you cannot beat that right now. Okay, I'm going to wrap around the back because it's probably the thing that I am the most proud of. And that is I don't know. I cannot have something with wires all over the place, right? For me, everything has to be organized because I have a little OCD. And it will drive me nuts, like having wires scattered everywhere. This is the best I could do it. Someone out there could probably do it better. But I did build this stand. You can see here, right? It's like 1.25" tubing, I think. Yeah, 1.25" tubing. And then I bought some race car clamps down at the local race shop. You can see here. And these clamp on, and this holds this platform right here. It also holds, I put a couple... I drilled a hole through the back of this and I made this. Now this holds like, let's see here. Let me see if I can grab these real quick. Because usually I don't have these out here. I don't use these that much. Sorry about that. So that let's say these handles, right here. We'll take these back over. So it just has a place where all this stuff hangs. My VR helmet or VR sight thing hangs on that side. So it's just a place where I could hang some stuff. You will see this is where the 4 transducers, butt kickers are, and they're all labeled here, right? We got left front, left rear, right rear. I can adjust some of those. For the front, it might be a little bit different than the back. It does have an audio adapter. The audio was probably the hardest thing I had to do on this. It was kind of tricky getting everything to work together, but I did get it. I do use this thing right here. I mean, I'm sure there might be better ones out there, but it's pretty simple going in. I do use this Asus ROG 20, but I have upgraded it to, I upgraded the card in it, the graphics card, to the best thing I could find. And it's unbelievable what it does, man. It's a pretty powerful piece. I'm not a super PC guy. I can't build a PC, although I did change that out. But I wanted something that kind of felt like an Xbox, right? You just turn it on, you go. I'm not a big PC guy, dude. So I'm not sitting here building PCs. So this gaming computer has been rock solid. It's the G20. I think that's what it is, the Rogue 20 or whatever. And it has been really good. I haven't had any problems with it. And I've ran some pretty heavy duty stuff on it. And I don't have any, I run the frame rates are all 85 plus on iRacing. And yeah, it's been really good. All right, so I want to show you one of the reasons why I think VR is number one. When I look to my left, right, like I can look behind the car, I'm seeing all the pieces. See, I can see the whole car. I can see all the bars. I can see everything that you really can't see all that with triple screens. You can't look behind you like this. Dude, there's been some of the races where I look at my right rear quarter to see if I got damage on it, right? Also too, there's a lot of like intricate detail when you look down that you can't see when you have triple screens. I mean, you see the shifters down here. You can see that, okay, these are set up like sprint cars with the driveline going underneath my legs, right? You can't see that with the triple screens. You can't see like all this cool stuff they have here. You know, like I don't know what that is. Is that the braking system? But there's a lot of cool details that they worked on these cars. Like, look at that, dude. You got the warranty disclaimer on the side panel. But the thing is, like, you can't like look to your right and your left, or you can, but it's just not as fluent like it is with VR, man. And VR is incredible. I mean, this is amazing, I mean, in my opinion. And the visuals look good. With the Oculus, they look good. And I know they're only gonna get better. Okay, so I am gonna take some laps in the dirt, modify the Big Block series. It's actually really cool in the VR. I know you can't really see it. But I have settings, so talking about the VR is that I have different settings for dirt and pavement. With the pavement, I like it when you feel the braking front to back, not so much roll, you know, which simulates G-force, I get it, but I don't like the roll effect on the pavement. On the dirt, I like the roll because that feels, you know, a real car rolls over. So I'm at Charlotte here on the dirt. Let's take a couple laps and you kind of see how the system kind of works here. So it rolls over a little in the corner. Now with motion, less is more. You can have this thing so high that it just jerks you around, right? But that's not real. You want it so it's real subtle, so you can feel the track, you can feel the G-forces a little bit, but it's not so erratic that you can't drive. I will say this too, that it is harder to drive with motion. So just because you make something more real doesn't mean that you have an advantage. In fact, it's actually harder, in my opinion, with the motion. Especially when you're going in and out of traffic and stuff, it makes it hard. I'm going to take a hard hit, and you'll see that there's some, it gets pretty wild when you take a hit. So I'm gonna go down here, I'm gonna take a turn down here. And I'm going to take an impact in turn 1 and 2, and this thing should get pretty wild. There you go, man. Just like the real thing, dude. Okay, so Sammy, why don't you go ahead and get in there. Now I'm going to take the steering wheel off. Okay, I'm going to do that. So we're going to just set this out of the way. Sam's gonna be in there. Sammy, I'm gonna put this on for you. Okay? Do you know how to adjust it?
Yeah.
Okay, you adjust it. All right, man, well, there it is. Arguably the most elaborate, upgraded PlaySeat Evolution in existence. If you have something, I want to see it, right? And I'm not done here, man. Like I said, we have air coming on it, and who knows what I'll do. It may have a cage on it sometime. I don't know, man. No, probably won't do that. Don't give me ideas. Anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching. This is Billy at BTUFF.